I do think Tesla is underrated from an AI standpoint. In terms of real-world AI, Tesla has the best real-world AI.
We were talking earlier this year, and you said, hey, maybe ChatGPT 4.0 like moment for self-driving was coming. And I've been playing with the beta, and yeah, how close does it feel to you? Because some of the rides it's been doing for me are pretty darn impressive.
The latest beta is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I used to love it on the highways and on the streets. I'd be like, okay, but now I'm using it increasingly on the streets. So how do you feel about it right now? And I guess you made a lot of predictions on it over the years, but it does feel like it's getting pretty close.
Yeah, I think it's very close to, being in a situation where even if there's no human oversight or intervention, that the probability of a safe journey is higher with FSD and no supervision, like even if you're asleep in the car, than if the person is driving. We were very close to that. Those that have the FSD beta, which really anyone can get at this point. So the miles we see driven under the FSD beta currently are much safer than the miles that are driven without it. So that's already a very good milestone. But you can just see that it's getting better and better. Like if you compare the FSD beta today versus 6 months ago versus a year ago versus 18 months ago, it's really the improvement is dramatic. Yeah. We've got the final piece of the puzzle, which is to have the control part of the car transition from about 300,000 lines of C++ code to also a neural network. So the whole system will be a neural network, photons in to controls out, and that's kind of the final piece of the puzzle for full self-driving being significantly better than human. I do think Tesla is underrated from an AI standpoint. In terms of real-world AI, Tesla has the best real-world AI. So, hopefully between XAI and Tesla, there's kind of a third contender for visual superintelligence.
Would you look? You open source your patents at Tesla. You are very pro open source your source code at X. Would you ever considering releasing Dojo and FSD more as a platform substrate for everybody else, or that's sort of off the table right now?
Well, I don't know that in the case of say Dojo or our inference hardware that's in the car, our inference computer, which is actually a lot more compute than Dojo, by the way. We've got somewhere in the order of 4 million cars that have high-speed AI inference computers in them. Like open sourcing chip designs doesn't mean you suddenly get that thing.
Yeah.
So you can open source the software, but I think chip designs, they'll need ones that can actually use those chips, or really kind of would be someone that's willing to spend many billions of dollars on a computer development. So anyway, I think in the case of Dojo is interesting. Optimist is really interesting. Anyway, I think just in general, Tesla is one of the world's leading AI companies, and in some respects, the leading AI company when it comes to real-world AI, understanding the real world and actually reacting to that with self-driving. And I think that will become part of the solution for AGI, or general superintelligence. So, in the case of Tesla, I think we've got a sort of a good governance structure in that there's no super voting rights or anything like that. So if I'm, go crazy, the shareholders of Tesla can vote me out. I have enough of a vote to be, I think, moderately influential, but not enough to stay in even if I'm doing crazy stuff. So I think that's actually good.